of course it's archived.
First things first, I will be referring to this as the SJW Tumblr art style, although
The Homestuck, lies and slander.
it's not really considered that. It's more of a way of drawing, you know, like tropes that can be easily pointed out in all these drawings. However, I will be calling it that just to make it easier on myself. At the end of this video, I'll try my own hand at drawing something with all these tropes included, and I'll leave it up to you guys to decide on how terrible the result looks. So, the question is, what exactly is the SJW Tumblr art style? Well, my friends, I dove into the world of Tumblr and I made myself a list of the things that are very common in this type of art. We're gonna list it all one by one, so I hope you're prepared. Let's start with racebending.
Oh no, not the racebending.
Simply, racebending is the act of changing someone's race just to make it more appealing to you. This usually happens with white characters. Now, when I say white, I don't mean specifically, you know, American. I mean with anybody that has pale skin. Because, you know, white is evil.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to make white characters black.
Of course. It's Tumblr, don't be stupid. Tumblr loves their minorities and they will shove it in your face. People try so hard to be racially correct that sometimes it ends up looking pretty racist. Let's say taking an Asian character and coloring their skin yellow. And hey, for good measure, let's throw in buck teeth too, because
Okay.
ha! Asians, they all look like that. Definitely doesn't look like something that might have been drawn in, I don't know.
Okay, that looks a lot worse, come on.
1940? Psst, newsflash, to those of you who do anything like this, that's pretty damn racist of you. Quick story.
That's
I once
racist,
saw
guys.
this image of the Osomatsu brothers changed into Hispanics. And as a Mexican myself, I say good work,
As a Mexican myself.
artists. The brothers are all a bunch of lazy moochers who don't have jobs. Now they're Hispanic. Thanks for keeping the lazy Mexican stereotype alive. Love it. Now,
This video is optically unsound. Thanks for the expert opinion, Saint.
don't get me wrong. One person may want to change a small detail on a certain character just to make it easier to draw or feel closer to them. However, most of the times you'll find SJW artists on Tumblr racebend and things similar to it because they don't like how the character looks and feels that their way is the right way. They depend too much on looks and not
Okay, what does it matter if characters are race swept by fans? I don't know.
enough on history and background,
I don't care about this stuff.
often making the results visually unappealing. Next is the almost scary need
Oh no,
for
not the forced LGBT. Are we talking about the gay shippers?
forced LGBT characters, basically just forcing a sexuality or a gender onto a character. It's not too much of a problem on the sexuality part, you can do whatever you want. However, when it comes to gender, there's a big problem. Plenty of people headcanon certain characters as transgender, then go on to make them either incredibly feminine or masculine, and not in the way that you'd think.
You don't draw my trans character good enough.
It seems to be only made with usually trans males. They
Oh.
say that they're trans, but then give them over-exaggerated feminine features and make them wear feminine clothing. Say whatever you want about gender roles, but anybody with a brain and understanding
Gonna live, ZiZi further proves my comparison between the FCK and the Diddy parties. True.
of transgenderism would understand this. Why the fuck would someone
This is Damien. Damien is a trans man. I just want to live my life like everyone else. This is Sky. Sky wants to be a trans boy, but she's just a cis girl who needs to feel special. Love boy, space child, gender is a feeling. Twos come don't interact, cisgender people are so boring. You don't need the dysphoria to be trans. I bought a binder, so I'm a real trans boy. Isn't that how most of the ACC acts? What's the thing?
who wants to go from female to male to help their gender dysphoria dress like a woman. The whole point of transitioning is to go from one gender to the other. And if I didn't know any better, I'd say that this is a fetish aimly weird at trans men.
This person has little to no dysphoria, no desire to transition, and believes that not conforming to gender roles makes them transgender.
So, whatever. I mean, draw...
I thought transgender was a spectrum.
what you want, but at least own up to it and don't act like you're doing it in the name of being progressive. I got a little
I wonder why this video is deleted.
example for you. I have a friend who has made a character called Carolyn. She's a proud mother of 2 adopted children and is happily married. Something you have to know about her is that she's trans. Yeah, trans. You can barely tell, right? That's the point. The whole point of transitioning is to look as close
Just draw trans people like you would draw cis people. Got it.
to the sex that you want.
Is this the message? Is this the message?
And as a trans woman, why would she want to look or stay
Do
masculine?
I understand the message? Some people like skirts even if they're trans. Yay.
That completely interferes with trans people having gender dysphoria. I mean, in the words of my favorite trap supreme queen,
Like, if you are struggling with debilitating gender dysphoria, you don't want to get out of bed, you look into the mirror,
What the fuck is this?
you break into tears every night,
The couch and the empty wall scare me.
it's hard. When someone says, wow,
Wow.
you're really pretty for a trans girl, and you look prettier than most girls I know, that's a huge
My brain is melting. Good. Then I hit my goal.
reassurance. To me, at least, if I'm struggling, people acknowledge that I'm doing well.
Masculine women and feminine men exist, and dysphoria is a spectrum. Not everyone is dysphoric about the entire body. Yeah, that's how I understood too.
What kind of a psychopath would take that and turn it into an insult?
this is a rather short point, but
Strange proportions. Wow, now we're getting bean countering here.
strange proportions, like giving characters huge noses, lips, or making their bodies far too big while keeping
Maybe some people are built like this and want a character to look like them. You don't know.
their heads very small, stuff like that. Not only does it make a character's overall design look unbalanced, but it can lead to things like characters not looking their age. Self-harm is another. For whatever reason, Tumblr artists like to show characters covered in bandages and scars.
Yeah, that's like the birdie stuff. But also, some just have scars. And stretch marks.
By itself, this isn't bad. Maybe said character suffered a lot of mental issues and their scars shows what they've went through. However, this is Tumblr and that's not the case. When someone is shown to be self-harming, it's always cute.
Okay, but this is no self-harm. This is just someone with scratched knees. And someone who probably always has paper cuts. Come on now.
They decorate their arms with colorful bandages, and that's supposed to be cute, I think.
Being introduced secretly a therapist. I would be the worst therapist of all. I can make you worse.
No, maybe it's just
And hello, Hairfire.
me, but as
Welcome
someone
to
who
Pain.
used to self-harm,
And hello, Ranger.
it's not very cute. My friends and I have characters that have scars. They show the hardships that they suffered through their lives, and they
Oh, our scars are okay, but not the scars you made.
hate talking about their scars because it reminds them of the past.
This is literally someone wrapped up in arms and bandages.
As you can see, they aren't covered in neon bandages or sparkles,
Okay, neon band-aids are not allowed.
because that's not a good thing to make light of.
Note, it's not okay to make light of it if done for only aesthetic reasons. Doing that makes you a dick. I thought we were complaining about how we cannot complain about big boobs because it's restricting someone. I think you are restricting the creativity here, Miss ZiZi.
And finally, there is always the
You're a good therapist too. You make me face fears I didn't even know I had. I do purely exposure therapy. Oh no, not ugly features. Imagine a character being ugly.
need for ugly or unpleasant features. To further elaborate, I'm sure a majority of you don't like body hair, right? Well, people on Tumblr like to draw characters, mainly females, with a lot of body hair,
Imagine a woman having body hair.
which can be unpleasant to look at. Now, in some styles, you can make body hair work, but you know why it works? Because it's not overly detailed.
Right?
Keep in mind that most of the styles
Okay, you're allowed to draw body hair, but don't you dare making it detailed.
that these tropes have are rather simplistic. So to add a handful of features like body hair on a simple character really throws everything off. So while it's not fair to call these things ugly, there is a good reason behind it.
Oh no, a character with body hair, my only weakness.
If you want a good example of people using ugly or unpleasant features, but still managing to make it look good, just take a look at Cherry from Studio Killers. Her body shape, her eyes surrounded by wrinkles.
I thought you just complained about overdone body features.
This is defining her nose and lips. She has a bunch of what you would
Why them titties so pointy?
call ugly features on her, but yet she manages to make it look good. Why? It's because of the art style. It makes it work. Not only is it...
How dare I have some hair on my legs, Lamar? Don't you know that is aesthetically displeasing?
not a complete mess, and it's not blasting in your face, but there is a balance to it which makes the work look
You can only have body hair if it's slightly balanced, guys.
appealing and pretty eye-catching. Really, take a piece of Studio Killers artwork with a piece of generic SJW Tumblr artwork, and there is honestly no competition. Now,
Body hair is verboten, yes. Illegal
with all that
even.
in mind, let's see how I did with drawing something using all these tropes.
I'm aesthetically pleasing and my boyfriend is a Sasquatch. Splatoon is a Nintendo game. This is supposed to be a bad character, apparently.
Oh. Oh no. Okay.
Am I retarded? I think it can look pretty. It kinda looks fun. I'm sorry. I'm retarded.
This is a trans lesbian person. This is a trans male, but don't get fooled by the wide hips and the boobs, because it's totally a guy. They just...
Oh god, I hate her.
Okay, this video is cancelled now.
Is this legal? Can she do that?
Didn't notice you guys were here. Well, what are you watching? Ah, so the accursed day has finally arrived. Oh geez. I hope you can hear the anxiety in my voice. I genuinely feel sick, and it's not because I'm going to eat my own words or anything. It's just
Oh my god, does she regret that one video?
because we're going to face some major cringe. Anyways, hello gamers. Today, I'm going to be going back about 2 years. Back to a video that basically started the rise of my channel. The dreaded Tumblr art style video. Christ, I just got shivers.
I can't believe she regrets this video.
So if you're someone who's new to the channel or haven't watched all my content, you might
Lavender, I fear most Latina people hate the word.
not know about this video. Basically, it was supposed to be a breakdown or an analysis on the infamous Tumblr/SJW art style video. Keyword, supposed to. Which, by the way, I just must add, I genuinely hate the term SJW, like, that term can just go rot. See, I
I hate SJW now.
the awful mistake of sharing my opinion. And you might be confused at that, since this channel is nothing but me sharing my opinion, but listen, that old video has old opinions. And they are
Guys, I've changed.
cringe. My opinions have certainly changed since then, and really, one of the main reasons I wanted to do this video is not only to clear things up, but soon my birthday is coming up, and it made me think, with me getting older and how quickly things change, I felt I wanted to show you guys some of my growth. Now, originally, I was going to go through the video, but after some thought, I decided against it. Not only would it be painful for me, but for another reason I won't mention. I also wanted to be a bit more sensitive about these topics. So, first topic, and the one I think is the most important, in the video, I said things mentioning gendered clothing, things about body dysmorphia.
How dare you talk about gender and clothing? Is you a mind reader?
Gender roles, and basically just talking about how I personally
Listen, I would never read minds.
think a trans person should be drawn. Now yes, I have my opinions, but I will admit, I'm not really the first person that you should go to for advice on how to portray a trans character. And if you come to me
No, really?
asking for advice, the furthest I can really give you is just basic character design information. So just piece of advice from me to you, if you need help with a trans character, I'm not the person to go to. Anyways,
So brave, so brave. Is that a blackface?
I'll admit,
in the video, I sound like a dick. All the stuff regarding gender, I gotta say, I'm sorry about it, and I really don't care about the topic anymore. Draw your characters how you want. Trans and non-binary people are valid and all that.
I liked her art. Shame she turned out to be a shit person and worse a groomer. Damn, that always sucks.
Jazz, I support all your little hopes and dreams. Now, when it comes to the rest of the topics, there's not enough to talk about to have a paragraph long, so the rest of these will be quick. The race bending and the changing characters' races for no reason. I don't care. Do what you want.
Oh, now you don't care. Okay.
Draw the characters however you want. Will I ever understand why some of you guys just change the skin tone for no reason? No, but to be honest, I don't care. We're all artists.
I'm not even an artist, and I know that some people do it to have some self-presentation of themselves, to just see show what the character would look like as their race. So you don't need that much imagination.
Just trying to improve.
Did they apologize for their existence yet? Sadly, no.
The strange proportions, I really don't mind it anymore. Many styles have strange anatomy, and we as artists are just trying to find out what suits us best, and trying to find our own way of drawing things. Styles can be strange, proportions can be exaggerated.
Listen, I needed a few years to learn that.
Etc. It doesn't matter.
Now that I've gotten backlash, I don't care anymore. True random abuser.
In the end. The self-harm. No, this is the one thing I still stand by. Self-harm isn't cute. Or quirky. I'm sorry. Of course, context matters, and if the context of your character is that they hurt
Okay, you can draw self-harm, but only if you have context. What if they were drawn black or shinies?
themselves because, ooh woo, they're a messed up bean, ooh woo, then piss off. Last is the mention of ugly features. The biggest example at the time was body hair. I'll tell you firsthand, I hate body hair. It makes
No, really.
me feel gross and dirty. However, do I care anymore if art features body hair? No, I don't. Does that mean—
why do I hear the pain in your voice? Some people do it just because it's interesting or give different cultures a chance in the spotlight, especially in anime-type fandoms. Yeah!
I just like it?
Yeah, that's what I kind of imagined what it is like, especially in anime, because almost every character is white or Asian. And if they have, for example, a black character, is most of the time very stereotyped.
No. As mentioned before, I just don't care. It's not my aesthetic.
I don't care anymore, okay? Stop hating me.
But if you want to, go ahead and draw it. So, that's pretty much all the points that I mentioned in the original video. And I gotta say, that video caused a lot of outcry and anger from certain communities.
Gee, I wonder why.
It's rightfully earned, though I admit, I believe some took it too far, like those who actually believe me to be a racist or even a pedophile. However, those comments calling me wrong and trying to calmly explain—
I don't care, that's why I made a 30-minute video about it, because I don't care. No, it's 8 minutes.
explain why, you guys were more or less correct. And kudos to you all. I indeed acted like a dick in that video, and the thought has come to me so many times that I wished I had made the video better, or that I didn't—
Oh, it came to me so many times, guys.
Shove my opinions in there, or I had just made the video a simple analysis, but that's not how it happened. And I'm sorry for it. So what does this all mean? Is this the mighty ZiZi finally falling to the will of the Tumblr right?
You know what? I feel like I'm not an artist, I enjoy art, but I feel like I understand from the first video especially, I feel like I understand some art stuff more than her. How does this work?
And now she's going to be a libtard? No. I'm just trying to make amends. Basically, I'm growing up. As you guys already heard, my birthday is coming up soon.
Guys, it's my birthday.
I as well need to clear things up because that past video—
Guys, it's my birthday. I want no drama for my birthday.
really doesn't represent my current opinions. So soon the original video is going to be unlisted. And for those of you who
hiding it, I see.
a certain website or are listening into this video, and I know clearly the type of people you are, you might be thinking, why aren't you going to—
Hey, you know the type of people we are? Well, that is just an assumption.
delete the video, ZiZi? Is it because
Okay, she got me.
you want more money and you are just super selfish and you don't really care about the things you've said in the video? No. If you believe that, then you are not a YouTuber and you don't know how that works.
Damn, I'm not a YouTuber.
And besides, I didn't even make money off of that video, so I don't know where you're getting that. But no, the reason why the video is going to be unlisted is because I would like to see my YouTube channel basically be kind of of a diary, if that makes sense at all.
But in a diary, there are also the bad things.
Just seeing how my thoughts and opinions age with time. So that's the reason why the video is just going to be unlisted and not deleted. With that being said, the end of this video is going to have some rather spicy takes. Now
Oh, spicy takes. I'm always here for the spicy takes.
prepare yourselves, because you might not be able to handle these.
Oh, guys, will we be able to handle these? My birthday is on the 27th. I want lots of drama for my birthday to keep me entertained my week off next week. Hey! Drewski getting old.
Trans people are valid, and they can present
That's a hot opinion.
however they wish. Same goes for NB and GNC. All people, despite their skin tones, deserve to live happy lives. We all come in
Oh, first acting like now come the hot takes, and now she comes like, people are valid. Trans whites in chat. Gay whites in chat. Pedophiles are bad.
in various shapes and sizes, and that's a great thing. Art should never be censored, and everyone should be able to draw however they like. And lastly, diversity is not our enemy. Diversity is a part of life, and it's amazing to think that
Thank you for your positive message.
everyone around me lives a different life and has their own way of celebrating their culture. And that's really it.
You teach me to accept other cultures now.
So everyone in my audience, no matter what your skin tone is, or what your gender is, or however you identify, I hope you all have a good night. I feel like I also have to thank you all for putting up with me. Like, I know I can sound like such a dick, but to be honest,
You don't sound like a dick, you sound like a bitch.
I'm grateful I have anyone at all to listen to me. So I don't mean to get sappy, I just wanted to pour my heart out there. I'll see you in the next and hopefully longer video, gamers.
Bye, gamers. Wasn't that great? Wasn't that great? Okay, what do we have next? Boop. We have coming to terms with my sexuality. Pride Month 2 years ago. I wasn't confused, just frustrated. So this was pretty much... Well, I think Kiefer was getting hotter.
Hello, gamers. Yes,
Hello,
I'm
gamers!
aware I've been gone for a while. I have a track record of
Diversity is cool if you're skinny and shaved. True, Pimenta.
taking long breaks, if you haven't noticed. I won't go into detail, but I've been dealing with some strong negative emotions.
Gee, I wonder why you were dealing with strong negative emotion at this time. Me when I redesign random OCs on DeviantArt.
So while I haven't gone to go get a diagnosis, I think
I
I've
haven't gotten a diagnosis yet, guys.
gone through some age regression in order to
Great start. Great start. Miss ZiZi went through some age regression, guys.
deal with it. So that's fun. Anyways, as you should know, it's the month
Everyone age regresses.
of June, aka Pride Month. A month for the LGBTs, the allies, and also the month where Skittles weirdly takes the rainbow out of their candy. For those who don't know, I'm bisexual. However, while I do like
Damn.
guys and girls, I definitely like girls a little bit more. I'm not exactly sure what you'd call that, but
Yeah, age regression in the sexuality reveal is really, an interesting choice.
that's what I feel. Now, I've been wanting to make a video for Pride for
Yes,
a while.
Webuser.
I just wasn't sure how to approach it. This year I've decided, fuck it. I'll just go for it. It's not like this is me coming out, this has been known knowledge, but I kinda wanted to talk about how I got to this point.
Listen, I already came out long ago, but I decided I want to come out of the closet a second time. Age regression comes awfully close to diapers. No, Webuser, bad. By the way, I'm bisexual, Eggman. God damn it, Lavender.
So, I guess if we were to start, we'd have to go back to elementary school. At least, just for a moment. My experience through elementary wasn't anything special, however, something I remember the most was having this one best friend. I enjoyed her
You had one friend.
company, we always had fun together, and everything was normal. However, even at that age, I was, let's just say, curious. I'm not exactly
In
sure how
elementary school?
it happened, but I remember once that we kissed each other while playing house, maybe? Either way, a
What's up with this generation?
part of me liked it, as far as I remember. Maybe not because it was with another girl, but maybe because, in my head, kissing was something that only adults could do. So to me, that was a little exciting. Now, I'd like to say that
Why do I learn about what she did in elementary school?
something awakened in me at that moment, but not exactly. I remember her mom once catching us in the act, and she complained towards my mom.
How often did the elementary schooler smooch?
And now that I think about it, us beginning to hang out less and less probably wasn't a coincidence. Now, let's move on to middle school.
I don't want to learn your sexual ventures in childhood. Skip. No, Pimenta, I need to learn.
I'd say that this is
We need to
where
learn history.
the bisexual ball really started to roll. Like most tweens during that time, I was getting myself adjusted to the internet.
What age is middle school? This feels very wash.
I spent a lot of time online watching MVs, browsing DeviantArt, and reading Snafu comics.
There's a problem, DeviantArt.
At the time, I was really getting into Invader Zim, which you do as the average edgy teenager. That was basically my first introduction to a fandom, and that meant I also learned about shipping.
If you're playing house, isn't it kind of normal to kiss because parents do that? Yes, but it doesn't sound like playing house, what she described.
Specifically, in this case, gay shipping. My mind at first was really confused, like, hold on. People of the same gender can, like, kiss? How's that?
You just told me you kissed a girl in elementary school. Why are you not now surprised? Middle school was like 10 to 13. Oh, fuck me.
Possible? I've only seen straight couples engage in romance. That's, like, really wild. Yeah, it didn't take long for me to understand. Yeah, this can happen. Two people of the same gender can kiss, and it's fine. So at this point, I was pretty accepting and understood that, yeah.
Yeah, like, yeah, childhood exploration is a thing, but we don't need to know all that.
Gay people exist. By the way, yes, homophobes, it is that easy to understand. However,
Yeah, you get this, homophobes.
I didn't fully understand myself just yet. Something that really helped me was actually Katy Perry's song I Kissed a Girl. Allow me to explain. There was a time where I was hanging out with my friends at one of their houses, and we decided to play some kind of karaoke game on the Wii. I'm not exactly sure which one it was. And out of all the songs in the catalog,
One time we played house and I found a wasp in the plastic house we played in. That's another kind of awakening.
I decided to sing I Kissed a Girl.
You saw it. You guys saw it.
Now, in my humble opinion, I sang the hell out of that song, and apparently so did one of my friends. After I finished, my friend commented, "Wow, you sang so proudly. I'd almost think you actually like to kiss girls." I remember
I always say you like to kiss girls.
laughing it off, but clearly that stuck with me. At that point, I was starting to see things a little differently. Like, I would look around and notice, wait, girls are kind of pretty. And yet, a part of me didn't understand, and another...
Wait, Miss ZiZi is a cis woman. We will get to it. We will get to that.
part of me didn't even really want to accept it because, yeah, other people might see it as weird, and I don't want to be seen as weird. At least, not weirder than I am already. A moment that certainly didn't help was this one time when I was in the cafeteria, hanging out with them, and...
Yes, it awakened a lifelong fear of death. Understandable, Tusky.
For whatever reason, I think they started making fun of gay people. I really don't know how the conversation came to be. Either way, I spoke up and said, I don't think girls kissing other girls is weird. Yeah, I quickly got backlash for that one. I got great comments such as, ew, you don't like girls or something, right? Listen, I don't want to say that they are bad people. I am sure that they grew up and became...
I'm sure they grew up and all became wonderful allies.
better, but in that time, what they said hurt. Held me back even more, that's for sure. Okay, so now we get into high school. Quite a bit of time has passed, and I was made aware of the term bisexual. At that point, I knew I liked boys, but I also liked girls. so it seemed right for me. I was comfortable for the most part. I just hadn't come out, at least not publicly. I'd
At
say
least
that
not
officially
publicly.
happened when I decided to ask a girl out for the first time. She rejected me, but hey, I tried.
I often say this often, but ZiZi should have stayed in the closet. Listen, sometimes it's okay to push people back into the closet.
Sucked because I really liked this, so I remember that when she rejected me, I cried for a good while.
Yes, like every teenager.
My dad asked me what was wrong, I told him the truth, and he said that what I was experiencing was a mental illness, aka not real. That didn't help, but either way, that did not discourage me and force me to go back into the closet. I'm still
Should have stayed in there.
glad that my parents weren't the type to just kick me out if they discovered something like that. They don't approve, but it's better than not having a home, that's for sure. So now it's 22 and things haven't changed, at least in terms of my sexuality. Of course, I'm more leaning towards girls, but I'm pretty comfortable right here. And people, for the most part, are accepting of me. However, when I
Yay.
think back to my upbringing and the amount of pushback that I got from just saying gay people aren't weird, I wonder how easy things
Listen, after all this talk, she decided to be obsessed of a teenager's size.
could have been. The amount of confusion and frustration that could have been spared if people were just willing to listen and understand. I've had talks with my sister about how schools are now, considering I graduated years ago. From what she tells me, almost everyone is gay at this point, and saying just as much doesn't make you an outcast.
Truly a victim, yes, web user. Ranger trying to rig the game for the cat stream.
I'm glad for that, but in my opinion, we still have work to do before we can reach true equality. We still have too many LGBT
Listen, Miss ZiZi was like, now that people accepted me as bisexual, I will come out as a map. Fuck.
people, especially youth, who are forced to live and behave in a way that they are not comfortable with just because, whether it be their guardians forcing them to behave and act a certain way, or it's societal, or it's just because of where they live. Listen, if you're watching this and you're someone who is in the closet, whether it be for your gender or your sexuality, don't feel pressured to come out. You'll find your perfect time and place to do so, and remember, you're stronger than any person who will hate you for it.
That's so positive.
However, in case you need it, I will be putting numbers for hotlines for help, suicide, etc. for LGBT youth in the description. Anyways, happy Pride gamers. I hope you all enjoy
Happy Pride gamers.
the rest of the month and what it has to offer. I'll be seeing you in the next video.
Yay. What a beautiful story.